Every variant of Logan wrestles with the same struggles, the same issues. But that's the beauty of growing through life, is getting to a place where, well, what would it be like if I didn't let them down? What would it be like if I actually did show up? The healing isn't 100%. A lot of the issues that he wrestles with are still there, and yet there's enough growth there to enjoy a life. And in every case, he ends up doing the right thing.
This is what it feels like.
Whoa.
That movie was so much better than it had any right to be.
So angry because it's Wolverine, baby!
Wolverine.
Hello and welcome to Cinema Therapy. I'm Jonathan Decker, licensed therapist who loves movies. This is...
Alan Seawright, a professional filmmaker who needs therapy and snicked. That's what it does in the comics.
I know, I was going to say, that was comic accurate. That was great. Today we're doing a psychology of a hero on Wolverine, his journey throughout the films, the Fox films, played by Hugh Jackman.
Yes, sir.
Does a wonderful job. We're going to be looking at letting people in when you don't feel worthy of love or affection and you hate yourself.
Okay.
So not relatable at all for anybody.
No one's ever experienced this. Certainly not me. Or Jono.
So let's do this thing. I love that with Rogue, it's so easy for him to find his paternal compassion. Mm-hmm. With everybody else, it's hard. There's a lot of walls there.
Yeah, you see somebody as broken as he is.
Yeah.
There's not many people that'll understand what you're going through. But I think this guy Xavier's one of them. He seems to genuinely want to help you, and that's a rare thing. For people like us.
And of course, she's got a little schoolgirl crush on him.
Okay, so what do you say?
To be fair, I have a little schoolgirl crush on him too.
Come on, I'll take care of you.
You promise?
Yeah, I promise.
Something that's really hard to pull off, I would imagine, in the writing and in the performances, but I feel like they do really well. She's got a schoolgirl crush on him and is blatantly obvious about it.
Right.
And he doesn't keep his distance, but he's also not feeding into it because he doesn't see her that way. But why? Why is he like this? Because of how he's been treated. Granted, he doesn't have his memories, but everything from the time he can remember is he's an outcast. Mm-hmm. He's judged. People are afraid of him. People hate him. And if you've ever felt like that, it's hard to let people in. Why? Because why would you? You're just going to get hurt again. And so he's completely closed off. But then I think he sees in her, oh, here's somebody who I can give her what I was never given. And maybe she won't turn out as jaded and cynical as I am.
This episode is sponsored by Wildgrain, the first ever bake from frozen subscription box for sourdough bread, fresh pasta, and artisanal pastries. There are so many different varieties to choose from, and you can customize every single box you order. We got croissant, sourdough bread, Terran Share cranberry pecan rolls, tonarelli pasta, yum, apple cider donuts, heck yes, and my personal favorite, giant chocolate chunk oatmeal cookies. We also got some French butter. It's so convenient when I want that fresh homemade taste, but I don't have time to make something from scratch, which is all the time. I never have time for that. Everything from Wildgrain goes from freezer to table in 25 minutes or less. And Wildgrain is constantly adding new, seasonal, and limited time specialty items to try. They also have gluten-free and vegan options. And for every new member, Wildgrain donates 4 meals to the Greater Boston Food Bank. So if you love Bostonians, you'll love Wildgrain. Time to tear into these Terran Share cranberry pecan rolls. Oh, dang. If you want to check out Wildgrain, be sure to click the link in the description and use our code CINEMATHERAPY to get $30 off your first box. Plus, you'll get a free item in every box. Wildgrain. It's wild how grainy it is.
Okay, so we never knew how bloody Wolverine was going to get later on, but at the time, and even now, even though it's not bloody, this is a badass moment.
Yeah.
And it's all in the performance.
He's mad.
All right.
I feel like they cut to Bobby the first time because they can't hold too long on Hugh Jackman.
I think
just
that was
screaming.
a PG-13 cut.
Yeah.
Like, we can't show that much murder.
I remember the theater just going nuts this whole scene, though.
Oh, yeah.
But the reason I wanted to include this scene is you've got Wolverine, who is standoffish and rude and seemingly self-centered.
And then he does this.
He's stunned. I can help you. Help them.
This protective instinct is who he really is. And I know any number of people like this in real life where they struggle with vulnerability, they struggle with emotional expressiveness. It's cheesy, it feels fake, they don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like protecting or providing or looking after, they'll go to bat all day, every day. And so their love is tougher, or sometimes it's more buried, but it's definitely there. I love how they position the legs of the characters so you can't see him stabbing people. You know what I mean?
They tried. They really tried. It's really hard to make a movie about a character who has knives for hands and kills people and make it PG-13.
Why hadn't I thought of that? No blood. What a beautiful idea.
One of the things I love about that scene, though, is the contrast of what you're talking about, where he's being this protective guy, you know, through the hard exterior and everything. But the way it's filmed is there are a bunch of monster movie and like noir murder tropes
Yeah.
that are happening. So one of my favorite shots in this entire film is he stabs the guy in the foot and then, you know, stands up and like stabs him in the chest and picks him up and carries him around the corner. And we don't go around the corner. We don't see what happens. We just see him disappear around the corner with a human shield. And then a bunch of flashes of gunfire and a flashlight rolls into frame and then flickers off.
Yeah.
It's classic noir movie stuff because, you know, back in the 50s there was the Hays Code. You couldn't really show violence at all.
Yeah.
And so you had to imply violence. In a lot of ways it's more effective.
Yeah.
Because your mind goes, oh, he just used that dude as a human shield, and then I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
But what your mind is going to fill in is worse than anything you could show.
He took away my chainsaw, and now he's using it on me!
I saw an interview with Sean Levy, director of Deadpool and Wolverine. He says, who's most like their character and who's least? And he says, oh, Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool.
Guilty on all charges, Your Honor.
He says, Hugh Jackman, though, is as far from Wolverine as you're going to get.
Everything I've ever heard, I know several people who've worked with him, he is, without fail, super kind, super caring, cares about his crews, learns everybody's name. Like, he's the dream actor that every crew person wants to work with. And then rolling, and he turns into Wolverine. You know, he's, "Argh!" And then cut. Anybody need anything from the tea trolley? You know, like, he's just delightful.
Guys, new popcorn flavors. Deadpool, strawberry with chocolate drizzle, and Wolverine, which is lemon with cheesecake drizzle. Look at these colors. Aren't these perfect? Go to our store. Right there.
You can get popcorn with our face on it, but it doesn't taste like our faces.
That we know of. There's only one way to find out.
Press that button again! No! The other one! The first one!
First button! Got it!
This is what life looks like. A home, people who love each other, a safe place. You should take a moment and feel it.
Yeah. It's great.
Logan, you still have time.
Charles, the world is not the same as it was. We're taking a risk hanging around here, you know that. And where we're going, Eden, it doesn't exist. Her nurse got it from a comic book. You understand? It's not real.
It is for Laura. It is for Laura.
Get some rest.
So there's quite a few films Between X2 and this one, quite a few performances. Frankly, we could do 4 episodes on Wolverine.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot to cover.
But I wanted to hone in on one theme and pick the strongest scenes to support that. But something that has to be said is the films vary in quality between then and here, but Hugh Jackman never does.
Correct.
He always shows up and is like, I'm going to give 110% because that's who he is. Which is why you can have a bad movie with Wolverine in it, but there's yet to be a bad Wolverine performance from Hugh Jackman.
Yep.
But Logan here is at his most dejected, at his most cynical, because he found family, because he found community, because he found belonging and lost it. And of course, there's like superhero plot mechanics as to how that happened. But what I love about this film is it plays the straight, relatable human emotion of grief and of self-blame and of feeling like you failed people.
Yeah.
And because you failed people, it's not that you don't care anymore or that part of you doesn't want to connect anymore. It's that the part of you that wants to protect others from yourself says stay away.
Right.
Keep everyone at arm's length because people just get hurt. And I love that Charles is trying to tell Logan, this is what life is like. Family, a home, people who care about you. You should take a moment and feel it. And Logan can't bring himself to. Maybe because he feels like he doesn't deserve it. Maybe because he's taking care of Charles and the girl, and so he's too focused on just one foot in front of the other, next thing. Which I know we've talked about, you can relate to, and I know I can. As a parent, sometimes you just get stuck in the gear of bills got to get paid, people got to be fed.
I got to get through today.
Yeah.
I can't worry about 5 years from now.
So he gets her, though, to the group that's going to Eden.
Your friends, they seem nice. Kind of reminds me of... Hey, what's going on? Huh? You're with your pals. You made it.
Where will you go?
Nearest bar, for starters. Hey, I got you here. That's all I signed up for. Even gave back the money.
Such a nice man.
Hey, I never asked for this. All right? Charles never asked for this. Caliban never asked for this. And they are 6 feet under the ground. I don't know what Charles put in your head, but I am not whatever it is you think I am, okay? I only met you like a week ago. You got your Rebecca, your Delilah, your blah, 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 whatever. Everything you asked for, you've got it. And it is better this way. Because I suck at this. Bad happens to people I care about. You understand me?
She's mad because he is, for all intents and purposes, her father. I mean, she's a clone, but he is her father, and he's like, I'm going to get you where you need to go when I'm out. So that's why she's pulling away from him. And his whole thing is, it's because I suck at this. Just look at what's happened to people along the way who've already died. It's his way of saying, I'm keeping my distance because whatever capacity I have to care, I care about you enough to stay away because bad things happen to people I care about. Most of us don't have this bad things happen to people I care about and that they're killed by bad guys.
Yeah.
Right? For most of us, bad things happen to people I care about in that I let them down. Bad things happen to people I care about in that I lose my temper, in that I fail them and I don't follow through with the promises I intended to keep, or I break their hearts, or a million other things. And so we think the solution is to keep our distance because we believe we're broken and we believe we can't be fixed and we believe that we're inevitably just going to hurt them. But that's the beauty of therapy, honestly, and just beyond therapy, just growing through life, is getting to a place where, well, what would it be like if I didn't let them down? What would it be like if I actually did show up with love and ability? And the only way to get there from where you are now is to do the work, to do the growth.
Well, and even better, what would it be like if I tried really hard and was imperfect and they forgave me and that was okay?
Yeah. And still wanted me and still chose me and still loved me. Because that's the thing with X-23. She spent a week with him and he hasn't been on his best behavior, and he hasn't been pretending anything for her. He has been 100%, this is who I am, this is where I'm at. And she still wants him.
Yeah.
She still wants him for a father. Which, of course, leads to this. Oh, crap.
Oh, why? Why are you going to do this to me?
Take your friends and run. They'll keep coming and coming. Yes. You don't have to fight anymore. Go. Go. Don't be
be what they made you.
Don't be like me.
So this is what it feels like.
Oh, damn it.
Damn you, Jackman.
And Daphne Keene's acting a little hard out.
She's crushing it.
For a character who's so tortured and so filled with self-loathing and regret and remorse and the belief that I don't belong, to have that moment of this is what it feels like and then he dies. It's a great painful irony, but he doesn't feel that way about it.
Right.
He's just grateful to have experienced it even at the very end. Whoa.
Yeah, that movie was so much better than it had any right to be. I mean, really, many of these movies are better than they have any right to be. Like, frankly, on its face, kind of silly. X-Men is the civil rights movement.
With mutants.
Put in comic book form with mutants, and we get to tell these incredible stories that, you know, connect to real people on a real level. And they're, you know, they have jump jets that fly out of gardens and people that can blow ice at other people and a big guy who turns into a metal big guy. And we still get this out of it.
This Logan gets a moment's peace before he dies, and the reason he only gets a moment is because he doesn't really believe that he could have a peaceful life and that he doesn't deserve one. In Deadpool and Wolverine, we get another Logan who's got a similar thing going on because he's a Logan, but he gets to have a completely different experience. And the same X-23 meets him.
You remind me of him. Angry, drunk, mean.
Sounds like a great guy.
Wasn't finished. Showed up when it mattered the most. Couldn't help it. You might not know it, but you're a good man, Logan.
You might not know it, but apparently I'm the worst, Logan.
I got to have a life because of you. I got to grow up because of you. A lot of kids did.
A lot of kids didn't grow up because of me. Trust me, kid, I'm no hero.
That suit says different.
Yeah, you like it? Scott used to beg me to wear it. So did Jean, Storm, Beast.
In his timeline.
All of them. Wanted me to be part of the team, but I wouldn't. Told them they all look f***ing ridiculous. I couldn't have them thinking I wanted to be there.
Every variant of Logan wrestles with the same struggles, the same issues. And in every case, he ends up doing the right thing. What I think is so appealing about this character is how messed up he is. But that makes him relatable. You know, we love Superman and we love Captain America, but that's who we aspire to be. That's who we look up to.
Yeah.
But who we are is more like Logan, where we're going to F it up and we're going to hurt people and hurt ourselves and have a bunch of bad habits and try and work through them and try and be better. But at the end of the day, don't discount the goodness that is in you and the good that you've already done. And he frequently does that throughout the series. Anytime he does something heroic or noble or decent, he swats it away because he's invested in believing he's not great.
He can only focus on the bad parts of himself, and that's...
Reminds me of someone else I know with beard and muscles, but not metal claws.
I am not a huge jacked man.
Put your greasy tits away, you preening slut.
The story of Wolverine and the story of Logan is so similar to my story, trying to, like, focusing on all the negatives without ever acknowledging the positives in my own life, in my own actions, I should say, more than in my own life. I was always grateful for the good things that happened to me, but I was never grateful for the good things that I did because it felt self-congratulatory and just like, oh, that's not real. The real me, if you knew the real me, you wouldn't like
Yeah.
it. And, you know, punishing myself and trying to dull myself with, you know, my addiction. I've always really identified with Wolverine. I have rage inside, and I've had a lot of self-loathing, and I've had a lot of pain, and most of it was self-inflicted. These stories really mean a lot to me. I was actually really worried when they announced they were going to make Deadpool and Wolverine, because I thought Logan was such a beautiful wrap-up to the Logan story. And I didn't think that a Deadpool movie was going to be a good way to continue what I loved so much and identified with.
Yeah.
But shockingly, it was, in between all the dick jokes.
Well, we get to see, and thank you for that, by the way. We get to see Logan, just like we get to see you on this show, grow into somebody who achieves some level of peace. You know, the healing isn't 100%. A lot of the issues that he wrestles with are still there. And yet there's enough growth there to enjoy a life.
Even if we pull this off, we're dead. Permanently.
That's why it's gotta be me.
What?
Look, man. You didn't ask for any of this. You were right. I lied. I lied right to your face. Just to get you to help me, and you did.
You didn't lie. You made an educated wish.
I love that. That whole thing.
You got a whole world to go back to. I got nothing. I got nothing. Give me this.
Hey. I waited a long time for this team up. You know something? You were the best Wolverine.
I'm getting emotional about a behind-the-scenes story here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've been waiting a long time for this team up. Is a Deadpool line, but it's also a Ryan Reynolds line. Mm-hmm. Because he desperately wanted to play Deadpool, lobbied for it, tried to get a Deadpool movie off the ground, finally was able to convince Fox to sneak Deadpool
into X-Men
Origin Wolverine. You know, Fox executives completely destroyed and neutered the character, but became really good friends with Hugh Jackman during that process. And they had talked off and on for, you know, nearly 15 years, I think, about, man, it would have been great if we could have done this right. The right version of Wolverine and the right version of Deadpool together with maximum effort. you get to do cool things like that.
Yeah.
And also sometimes you get to tell really incredible, emotionally impactful stories with dick jokes, which is making me cry because it's what I want to do. Not necessarily dick jokes, but other stuff. Like there's
other stuff that you wouldn't think would go
very silly, gross things that I want to do in movies that are going to be really deeply emotionally affecting for people. I want to make movies that make people scared and horrified and laugh and really excited, and for some of the audience, it changes their life.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people went to Deadpool and Wolverine and it changed their life, but the number is greater than 0. Mm-hmm. Some people went there and they saw a thing and felt a thing, and it made them want to be a better person. And it's because these two guys poured a huge chunk of their adult lives into these silly comic book characters who are mad all the time and who swear all the time and cut off body parts and make drug, sex, and murder jokes.
And somehow it works.
And somehow it all works.
And it's beautiful. But I also love that Hugh Jackman gets to have his cake and eat it too, because he gets a devastating, heartbreaking, beautiful death scene as Wolverine and gets to die the hero and do justice to the character. And then he gets to give
to come back and re-examine it.
And re-examine
as the character.
And give Wolverine a happily ever after without undoing the other one, and he gets both, and they both work. And I love that this version of Wolverine finds this bit of peace of, you know what, I'm going to let these people in. They tell me that they love me. They tell me that I'm good enough. They tell me that I'm their hero, that I changed their life. And instead of keeping it out and not believing it, I'm going to allow myself to let it in. Point is, Wolverine, good. Hugh Jackman, good. Growth and healing, best.
Well, we did it. So until next time.
Hello, my name is Professor Charles Xavier. We'd like to invite you to...
Go f*** yourself.
And... Oh, watch movies. Oh my gosh.
We want to thank our supporters on Patreon who get extended director's cuts episodes, early, ad-free, lots of other stuff, and sneak peek at our short film, which will be coming, but they get it first.
Yeah.
With a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff. It's amazing. People like...
Daricus.
Raph's Witchy Corner.
Aperture Sunshine.
It sounds
Aperture.
like Aperture Sunshine. Mother of Owls.
Sounds like what? Now I need to know.
Aperture Sunshine? It sounds like a prog rock band.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Or a candle at Bed Bath & Beyond.
Both. It's both. You can burn one while listening to the other.
And Taylor Garrett.
Thanks, Taylor.
Yeah, thanks to all of you.
You're still here. It's over. Go home.